Automation and AI, it's not just a trend, it's the cornerstone of smarter marketing in 2025. But to make it work, you have to teach your AI to think like you, your business, and even more importantly, how to think like your customers. Welcome back to Marketing Unzipped, the podcast where we simplify digital marketing and give you the actionable strategies to grow your business. I'm your host, Rob Curtis, and today we're diving into one of the most hottest and completely misunderstood topics in marketing: AI and automation. Let me ask you this. How much of your day is spent on those repetitive tasks, sending emails, scheduling social posts, managing data, tracking campaigns? Imagine what you could achieve if those tasks were automated, giving you back your time to focus on strategy, creativity, and growth. And that's what AI is all about. Automate the mundane so you can focus on what really matters. The one challenge and the biggest downside is AI is only as effective as the instructions you give it. And in today's episode, we're exploring how automation is transforming your digital marketing. We're going to look at that critical step of educating your AI agents to work like an extension of your team, practical tactics for leveraging AI tools to streamline your marketing efforts. Whether you're an AI novice or you've been playing with ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all those pieces, this episode is packed with the tips to take your automation game to the next level. So grab your coffee or whatever it is that fuels your productivity, and let's get started. To me, automation isn't just about saving time. It's about creating precision, consistency, and scalability in your marketing efforts. And in 2025, it's no longer optional. It's a complete necessity. So let's start by understanding why automation has become such a game changer. Over the past decade, marketing has grown so complex. Countless platforms, tools, and channels to manage your social media, SEO, your ads, your emails, looking at your analytical data from so many different places, managing chatbot data from your website, or the list just goes on and on and on. And keeping up with it, naturally, is completely overwhelming, especially if you're trying to stay ahead of the competition. And this is where automation shines. By using AI, you can offload repetitive, time-consuming tasks to your AI tools, freeing up your team to focus on creative and the strategy. But it's not just about saving time. It's really about working smarter. Automation is shifted from being a nice to have to mission critical. And here's some of the biggest ways it can be game changing. To me, one of my favorites is hyper personalization. AI allows marketers to create such more personalized experience at scale. And scale is the key word. It can analyze customer behavior, preferences, purchase history to deliver tailored emails, ads, or product recommendations, for example. Let's take a quick look at a scenario that I could run you through. So an e-commerce business can use AI to send cart abandonment emails that include the exact product that the customer left behind, paired with discount codes to encourage the purchase. So you can do that in certain platforms now, but actually what we can do even further is segment the messaging, segment the content, and how we can give that more personalized feel to that user. Or even to the point of you could use AI in your ad platform to serve different messages to different segments of your audience based on their interests and demographics. Another one, which is great, is that real-time engagement. So completely gone are the days of static marketing. AI-powered chatbots and automated customer service platforms can respond to customer inquiries 24/7, whether it's answering FAQs, guiding someone through a purchase. These tools, they ensure your business never sleeps. Another one being smarter campaign optimization is probably the best language I could use. AI is also transforming how we run campaigns. So tools like Google Ads AI or Meta Ads Manager can adjust bidding strategies and optimize ad placements, identify underperforming creatives, all in real time. It's like having a campaign manager working around the clock for you. But one of the most exciting aspects of AI is its ability to predict trends and customer behavior by analyzing what's happened already in all that historical data. So AI can help you forecast what your audience is likely to do next, whether it's predicting which customers are most likely to churn or identifying products that are about to trend. And this makes 2025, in my opinion, the year of that smarter automation. And it does that because three things, I would say. Automations in generative AI, tools like ChatGPT, Midjourney. Obviously, there's so many of these products coming to the fore now. And even recently, we've seen ChatGPT and OpenAI team begin to deliver a agents program. Right? It's still very early, but it'll be interesting to see how that works. But these tools, they can write things for you. They can create content, add copies, help you create visuals, and even scripts. I wish I'd done this today, with much less human input. It can increase integration across platforms, so it's no longer siloed. So to me, platforms like your HubSpots, Salesforces, your different CRMs, Google Analytics data, we're able to integrate all of these databases into essentially our own ecosystems. So making it easier for us to harness automation without needing crazy advanced technical skills. And I think that's one of the really exciting things for me about AI is that the ability to get your hands on. You might not be the best at it yet, but you can go and play and test and see what works right for your business. But customers' expectations have just completely skyrocketed. And customers expect that instant response, the seamless experience, and that hyper-personalized communication. If you're not meeting those expectations, you're losing business to competitors who are leveraging AI to deliver on those demands. Let's use an example of one of our clients that we've been discussing this around and what type of things they could do. So we're working with a software company. We've been helping them generate their leads, but their sales team was ultimately spending hours manually qualifying leads from their website forms. So here's what we suggested, and they're implementing, and it's had productive feedback so far. This is all obviously very early, and that's the exciting thing with AI. But we integrated an AI-powered CRM that automatically scores leads based on their activity, such as pages visited, time spent on the site, and downloads. And then the AI assigned each lead a score from 1 to 100, prioritizing the hottest leads for the sales team. Simultaneously, we've already then been able to create automated email sequences, nurturing those lower scoring leads with relevant content. So we can talk to that person based on the pages they were reviewing, the action they were taking upon the site. And it's early days, but the conversion rates are stepping in the right direction. And we can see an increase so far already from about 10 to 18% so far. And I won't get into the particulars about what a client's worth to them and stuff, but you're almost doubling your conversion rate there. That's a fantastic start. And this is the power of automation. And it doesn't replace people. It truly just amplifies their efforts. So now we've explored how automation is revolutionizing digital marketing. The question is, how do you make it work for your business? And as I mentioned earlier, that answer lies in educating your AI to think like you. In the next section, we'll dive into how to train your AI systems with a think like developer approach to ensure they align with your goals, your brand, and your customers. The secret to making automation work isn't just setting it up. It's teaching your AI agents to operate like an extension of your business. Think of them as teammates, not tools. And here's the truth about AI that often gets overlooked. AI is not a mind reader. It's only as smart and effective as the information and instructions you provide. Just like a new employee, your AI agent needs training. They need to understand your business, your goals, and your customers. The key is to take a think like a developer approach, as I mentioned. That means breaking down tasks into logical steps, defining clear rules and conditions, anticipating edge cases to ensure your AI performs exactly how you need it to. And let's walk through that process of how we can educate your AI much more effectively. Defining your goals clearly is step one. Imagine a developer starting a new project. The first step is always defining the function. What does the program need to do? Similarly, when setting up automation, you need to be crystal clear about the outcome you're aiming for. So ask yourself, what's the goal of this automation? Is it to save time, generate leads, improve customer satisfaction, or anything else? And what specific steps should the AI perform? So you want to break it down into steps. What does success look like? Identify those measurable outcomes, such as higher engagement rates, faster response times, or increased conversions. And let's just say you want to automate customer service inquiries using a chatbot. Your goals might look like this. So the function, answer FAQs and escalate complex issues to a human agent. The tasks, provide instant answers for common questions, e.g. shipping times, return policies. Identify when a question is beyond the bot's capability and forward it to the support team. The success metrics: reduce response time by 50%, improve customer satisfaction scores by 20%. By defining these parameters up front, you give AI a clear roadmap to follow. So step 2, feed your AI quality input. In the developer world, there's a saying, garbage in, garbage out. And it means that the quality of your output, is directly tied to the quality of your inputs. And this principle, it applies to AI 100%. Your AI needs to access to accurate, relevant, and up-to-date information about your business to function effectively. Here's how to provide quality inputs. Organize your data. So for a chatbot, this could be your list of FAQs, troubleshooting guides, brand tone guidelines to make sure they're responding in how you would like a customer to be responded to. And for an automation tool, it could be segmented customer lists and past campaign data. And provide that context. So help your AI understand the why behind its tasks. So for example, if you're training it to recommend products, explain how to prioritize items. For an email automation tool, it could be segmented customer lists, past campaign data. Provide the context. So help your AI understand the why behind its tasks. So for example, if you're training to recommend products, explain how to prioritize items based on customers' purchase history or preferences. You want to keep it fresh, so AI thrives on current data. Update your inputs regularly to ensure the AI remains accurate and relevant. So an easy example of that is if you're using AI to generate some social media content, your inputs might include your brand voice guidelines, professional, friendly, humorous, for example, a content calendar with campaign themes and goals, examples of past high-performing posts. This ensures the AI creates content that aligns with your brand and resonates with your audience. And step 3 in this list, create logical if-then rules. In coding, tasks are often built using if-then-else logic. This same principle applies when educating your AI. So by defining rules and conditions, you ensure your AI behaves predictably in any scenario. So when you're looking to write those, you want to think about how you identify the common situations your AI will encounter. So write clear instructions for how it should respond. Include fallback options for when the AI isn't sure what to do. So if you're setting up an AI-driven email sequence for abandoned cart, if a cart was abandoned less than 24 hours ago, send a friendly reminder email with the exact items left in the cart. If the cart was abandoned 72 hours ago, include a discount code to incentivize the purchase. Else, add the lead to your long-term nurture sequence. This kind of structure and the logic ensures your automation feels thoughtful and tailored, not robotic and spammy. Step 4, the big point. Test, monitor, and iterate. So developers never launch a program without testing it first. Similarly, you should always test your AI systems before rolling them out to your customers. Think of this as a debugging process. And here's how you want to do it. First of all, run small-scale tests. Start with limited audience to see how the AI performs. Track those key metrics, like the response times, open rates, engagement, or conversion times, depending on the task. Obviously, this doesn't have to be for your email or your social. It's just an example. You then want to refine based on that feedback. So adjust your AI's inputs, rules, or logic based on what you learned during the testing. So if you're automating a social media scheduling tool, you might notice that posts scheduled for certain times underperform. Really easy fix. By adjusting the posting schedule or tweaking the tone of your captions, you can begin to fine-tune the AI's effectiveness. In step 5, you really want to focus on how you can then train for the exceptions. So great developers, they anticipate edge cases, those unexpected situations where a system might fail. The same principle applies complicitly to AI. Training your AI to handle exceptions ensures it doesn't get stuck or frustrate your customers. So a chatbot encounters an angry customer using unrecognizable language, let's say. An email automation tool tries to send a message to a customer who's unsubscribed, for example, a couple of different ones. So teach your AI how to escalate issues to a human team member. For example, a chatbot can flag messages with negative sentiment for immediate review. And write in those fallback rules, like display a polite error message if the AI can't process a request. By planning for these scenarios, you can create a system that feels seamless, professional, even when something unexpected occurs. And thinking of that developer mindset, it's about empowering your AI to act like a pro. As I mentioned earlier, if you hire a new member of staff, you've got to work with them. You've got to continually evolve and train and educate and give them the tools to improve and get better. Because at the end of the day, automation is about empowering your AI agent to think critically and act in ways that align with your goals. By taking a developer style approach, breaking tasks into logical steps, feeding quality inputs, planning for exceptions, you can create a system that doesn't just save time, but delivers exceptional results. And now that you've trained your AI to think like an extension of your team, the next question is, what are the best tools and tactics for putting this into action in 2025? And now we're going to explore some of those cutting edge AI tools and how to integrate them into your marketing strategy. AI tools are evolving at absolute lightning speed, and in 2025, they're even more accessible, powerful, and versatile than we could ever have conceived. And the key to success is picking the right tools and using them strategically. Now that we've explored how to educate your AI agents, let's talk about the tools that can bring your automation dreams to life. So from content creation to analytics, AI-powered platforms are transforming how we approach marketing. But where do you start? First and foremost, we could definitely go and look at those AI tools for content creation. So one of the most exciting ways AI is transforming things is that ability to get words out of your head on paper or onto our laptops, iPads, MacBooks, other devices are available. But they can generate quality content in a fraction of the time. For me, how we work is we will utilize AI to build us the framework. So in our SEO processes, we'll be analyzing, consolidating all the data from Google, from our competitors' pages, and all these pieces to say, okay, what does great look like? We can begin to get all that ideation together, and then we can work with our writers to evolve that and improve it and make it and one-up it is the language that we use. I am a big fan of ChatGPT and Claude rather than per se some of the off-the-shelf content writing AI tools. But with those, as I mentioned earlier, it is all about how you train them. We've spent a lot of time doing that in our systems here. And for me, I think from a content writing perspective, Claude is probably the best way to go at the moment, just from our experience. You can use these platforms not just to try and write you a page of content, but you can use it to enhance what you've currently got. You can use it to, I've got this press release that I want to create, that I've created. Can you improve this? What's missing? You can begin to ask all these questions to optimize your content as well. So it can give you those ideas to improve and enhance. Again, especially when you're a busy business owner, running around doing 100 things, you might have around one, but you might not have the budget for a content editor. This gives you a first step in that progress or in that process. I think the key important thing to remember here is the AI generated content. It works best when combined with your creativity. Use it as a starting point and refine it to ensure it's tailored to your brand voice and audience. Idea number 2, plain and simple, customer engagement. We've already talked around some ideas around chatbots and emails, etc., but there's tons of tools. HubSpot obviously have a very powerful CRM tool that can do so many different things, but platforms like Intercom and Drift, Zendesk AI, you can educate and train these tools with your FAQs to help help our bots decide when they need to escalate things to a human agent or whether they can answer the questions themselves. So you can use those chatbots straight away for instant responses, personalized email sequences, more proactive engagement. So you could send using, for example, like Intercom, you can send in-app messages to users based on their behavior, such as offer an assistant if they seem stuck on a pricing page, for example. But for all these customer tools, I'll come back and say it again, but we need to make sure that AI and the language they're using, it aligns with your brand's tone. If you're a fun, casual brand, train your chatbot to respond in a conversational way. And if you've listened to any of my other podcasts, you know that I love the data. And one of the biggest strengths is AI's ability to process a massive amounts of data and extract some actionable insights. So straight away, you can collect that information from platforms like GA4. You can start looking at the visualization pieces in there, or just download it, uploading it to ChatGPTs or other platforms. You can begin to ask it questions to get feedback from you. You could even then, depending on how comfortable you are, you could set up automations to do this without you. I'm a massive fan of Make.com, Zapier, and a few others around, okay, what can we automate? So actually we're being prompted with that data. And that is so, so powerful. But I think the key part in this process is it really helps us understand the audience. So using that AI powered analytics to learn what resonates with your customers. So go and analyze every single page of my website, or go and analyze the product pages of my website. Tell me where time is best spent. Tell me where what pages customers aren't engaging with, all these sorts of pieces in here, even just performance transactional data. But we can use those sorts of tools to just give us a quicker, more snapshot insight, and it makes life so much easier. I've mentioned before in previous podcasts, but setting up those dashboards, looking at things like Looker Studio, you could integrate AI into a spreadsheet, which pushes data or pushes its feedback through into Looker Studio begin to give you that information. AI tools for advertising optimization. Paid media is a huge part of the digital marketing landscape. And AI is making it easier than ever to maximize your return on investment. So some of my top tools in 2025, or top areas that platforms are evolving already are for the year coming. Google Ads, so automates bidding strategies, ad placements, and even ad copy suggestions. I've always been hesitant in the process of Google Ads to say, okay, they've rolled something out, let's run with it. But what we're seeing is actually the opportunities to win, because if these big platforms like Google Ads or Google AdWords is promoting these, they're going to want this to work because they want your data to improve it. So we've seen many case examples where actually we'll be getting better performance from the fact that they've been able to test. And then we'll only see it enhance over time. But be patient in that process, because from our experience, 9 times out of 10, you will see some financial wins in that process. So AI and in Meta, for example, Facebook and Instagram, it uses AI to identify high-performing audience segments and optimize campaign delivery. Then there are tools like AdZoomer, for example. It's a multi-platform tool. It uses AI to manage and optimize ad campaigns across everything. So it's a bit of it's been around the block, AdZoomer, and it's one of many. It's not one we use in-house, but we've been testing, but I've been very pleased with their process. I like it. AI tools for advertising optimization. We know that paid media is a huge part of digital marketing, and AI is making it easier than ever to maximize your ROI. Google Ads, for example, they have fantastic AI features. Meta Ads, again, they're using AI to identify high-performing audience segments and optimize the campaign delivery. So they want to see your success because they want you to spend more. Some of the best ways you can begin to play with these sorts of platforms is using or embracing, would be better language, their smart bidding technology. So let AI determine the best bids for your ads based on real-time data. I often suggest that you pair this side by side. So I would have in one campaign, I would have smart bidding on. I would be testing and allowing Google to run with it, so to speak, versus our usual approach. And for me, that's two massive steps in the right direction. But one of the things I would really think about is you can use AI to continuously monitor your campaigns and flag the underperforming ads. So you can make any adjustments before they burn through your budget. So what you want to think about is, I've just touched on some tools, but overall it's, how do you want to choose the right AI tools for your business? And with so many options, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. I feel there's a new AI platform out every single week at the moment. But you want to start with your biggest pain point. What's the one area of your marketing that feels the most time consuming or inefficient? Choose a tool that addresses that specific problem. Then look for integrations. For me, as I mentioned earlier, I like those tools like Make.com, Zapier, that allows us to connect one platform to another to make things more smooth in that transition. But you want to think about what's currently in your tech stack, is the language that's commonly used, and how you can integrate that tool into those. And most importantly, always have a play around with it before you commit to anything. So you're always, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a free trial or a demo, or maybe a 1-month subscription at a discounted price, something like that. And then use these to see if those tools meet your needs before making the final purchase. And now we've covered some of these tools, let's dive into the tactics. In the next section, I'll share practical strategies for integrating AI into your marketing campaigns, focusing on automation, personalization, and predictive analytics to help you stay ahead in 2025. AI isn't just about having the right tools, It's about using them strategically to create smarter, more efficient marketing campaigns. So let's talk these tactics. AI is no longer just a support system. It's a driving force behind how businesses can interact with their clients, optimize campaigns, and stay ahead of your competitors. The key to the success lies in integrating AI into your marketing strategy in a way that feels seamless, thoughtful, and most importantly, human. And here are 3 powerful AI-driven tactics that you can use to transform your marketing this year. I've mentioned loosely on that personalization at scale piece. Let's delve into that. Customers, as I mentioned, they expect that personalized experience. And AI can tailor those messages, recommendations for those individual customers based on their preferences, their behaviors, and their stage in the customer journey. So AI analyzes data like the browsing history on your website of that user, purchase data, and engagement patterns to create a unique experience for each user. So, for example, AI can send those tailored emails with product recommendations, what a customer has previously purchased or viewed, or even things using tools like Optimizely. You can adjust website content dynamically, showing different headlines, product suggestions, or even layouts, depending on actually who's visiting. So imagine an online store using AI to personalize recommendations. A customer browsing winter jackets might see curated options for their size, paired with accessories like scarves and gloves. Meanwhile, someone else visiting the same site could be shown an entirely different suggestion based on their own shopping history. And the key to be successful in personalization is balance. Use AI to make experiences more relevant, but don't make it feel invasive. Always give customers the option to adjust or opt out of personalization features. Number 2, predictive analytics. Anticipate trends and behaviors. So one of the most powerful uses of AI is its ability to predict what your customers will do next. By analyzing historical data, AI can easily identify patterns and forecast future behavior, helping you to stay ahead of trends and make proactive decisions. So think about things like product demand forecasting. AI can predict which products will be popular based on seasonal trends or past sales data, helping you optimize inventory and marketing campaigns. Then you start thinking about things like customer churn, for example. By analyzing engagement data, AI can identify customers who are at risk of leaving, trigger actions to retain them, like sending a special offer or checking in with customer support. Trends is another great option. So tools like Crayon or Talkwalker can see millions of online conversations to spot emergent industry trends before they go mainstream. So a subscription box company noticed that subscribers tend to cancel after 3 months. By using predictive analytics, they identified that drop-off in the customer journey, and they implemented a retention campaign. So they could include a free surprise item in month 3, for example. One of my tips for this would be to think about how predictive analysis is most effective when paired with action. Don't just collect the insights, use them to adjust your strategy in real time. I've mentioned this a couple of times or touched on it loosely, but point 3, that real-time engagement with AI-powered chat and content. But modern customers, as I mentioned, they demand instantaneous responses. We all have zero patience. Our lives are too busy to dither. And I think that AI tools, AI chatbots, for example, I touched on some earlier around Drift, Intercom, HubSpot. It allows you to automate customer conversations. So chatbots can answer those FAQs. I've already explained how you can begin to build that bot in respect of the information you want to give it in test. But imagine if someone just adds an item to their cart that hesitates. We can create a pop-up chat message, but with an offer to discount them, with a discount, for example, to encourage the checkout. So think about a travel agent. Their book a site, it uses an AI chatbot to assist customers all hours of the day. And when a customer starts browsing those vacation packages, the bot pops up to ask about their destination, dates, and budget based on their input. And the bot suggests tailored options and even provides real-time flight updates. So all of a sudden, that interaction is better for our consumer and helps them identify actually what they want. And that can all be managed within a bot, which again is so, so powerful. But always remember, you want to pair this real-time engagement with a human fallback. If a chatbot encounters a complex question or frustrated customer, make sure it should escalate the conversation to somebody that's there working. Or if it's overnight, for example, it's a message of saying our human team, wrong language completely, are unavailable at the moment. We've collected all this information and we will be in contact with you first thing in the morning. Something like that, that just allows that safety net for you. But we always want to think about how, with all of these pieces, and I am a massive fan of this, but we need to balance this AI automation with human creativity. It's never going to substitute that. And the best results, they ultimately come from combining the two. Let AI handle the repetitiveness, the dull things, the things that have to happen that you've built and put in place. If you find yourself enjoying this AI process and automation processes, then build more of them, test it, see what works best for your business. But automation, it can really shine when it comes to data processing, scheduling, and elements of execution. But you get to focus on creativity and the strategy, the storytelling, and using your human skills to craft that overall vision to inject personality into your brand. Don't let AI become your brand. You use AI to embrace your brand. But for example, you can use AI to analyze customer data, generated ad copy. Use it as a platform to get feedback. Even if you're nervous about how you train the AI, just keep asking questions. Think of it as an assistant. If they don't know the answer, they're going to find a way to solve it for you, to give you a solution. So spend that time just chatting. Ultimately, it's nice and smooth. So now you have all those tools and those tactics to address AI. Let's address an important question. To me, we want to use AI responsibly. So how do we do that? With the old-fashioned saying of, with great power comes great responsibility. In my opinion, AI is still in its early phases of transforming marketing, business operations overall, but using it responsibly is just as important as using it effectively. AI in marketing is, as I said already, it's showing signs to be incredibly powerful, but it also comes with unique challenges. As we lean into automation, personalization, predictive analytics, we need to consider the ethical implications of how we're using this technology. After all, customers are becoming more aware of how their data is being used, and they expect transparency, respect, and trust from the brands that they support. So let's explore those key ethical considerations of using AI in marketing, the potential pitfalls to avoid, and how you can ensure your AI strategies build trust rather than erode it. So straight away, data privacy. You need to respect your customers' information. AI relies heavily on that data to function, whether it's customer purchase history, browsing behavior, demographic information. While this data is invaluable for personalization and predictive analytics, it also raises massive concerns about privacy. Transparency is non-negotiable, in my opinion. Customers want to know what data you're collecting, why you're collecting it, and how's it being used. We want to think about giving people the opportunity of consent. Obviously, the whole cookie policy processes and all those boring T&Cs bits, they are so critical. So make sure you get that consent before collecting that personal data. So your email opt-ins, tracking tools, all those pieces tie into that cookie policy process. One thing that's really important in this is you want to secure your data. You want to think about how you can invest in robust cybersecurity measures. So we could think about this as a clothing brand using AI to recommend products based on a customer's browsing history across their site. So to build trust, they can include a clear explanation of how these recommendations are generated, along with an option for customers to manage or delete the data. So when in doubt, just put yourself in your customer's shoes. If you feel uncomfortable with how your data is being used, it's time to reevaluate your practices. We want to avoid that AI bias, ensuring fairness. AI systems learns from data. But if that data contains biases, the AI can unintentionally amplify them. Remember, this is just a tool. This isn't somebody else yet. Maybe we don't know how the world's going. This is so critical because businesses must ensure their marketing remains fair and inclusive. So you want to think about the bias in the data. If your data isn't diverse or representative, your AI may end up excluding certain groups or reinforcing stereotypes, thinking about unintended outcomes. So for example, an AI-powered hiring tool that prioritizes certain keywords in resumes, might unintentionally discriminate against qualified candidates just because it's looking for certain words instead of the semantics of those terms. So what is the language they're using? Is it relevant to this subject? So there's so many pieces in that. But to begin to kind of get around this, you can essentially start regularly auditing. So again, depending on how much you're using this for, depends on how much you need to do this. But if you're a large scale site and you're getting lots of action and activity across your site and embracing these sorts of things, you want to be reviewing that regularly and keep that communication channel strong with the rest of the development team, whoever. If you're a smaller business, you may be using this ad hoc. I would still be scanning and monitoring it monthly just to get a sense check. You just don't have to spend as much time, you don't have as much data, right? But we can think about how we use diverse data sets to train your AI. And as I mentioned before, it's not just about that first test but actually that audit. So regularly test the outputs to ensure it covers all of your bases, who you want to talk to, stop it from creating its own biases, and it's inclusive of everything that you want to happen. Another area we want to think about is obviously that over-reliance on automation. So the ability to keep the human touch. It's incredibly powerful, and I won't stop praising AI and automations, but it's important to remember not every interaction should be automated. Over-reliance on AI can make your brand feel impersonal, robotic, especially in certain situations that require empathy or creativity. So we want to think about areas where we can automate. I used the chatbot example earlier, so responding to frequently asked questions or sending reminders, those sorts of pieces. That's okay. I work with lots of different tools and softwares where they declare that this is a chatbot, this is an AI, our AI agent, for example, or brand names agent, and to set that expectation for you so you know it's limited, you can move around that. So the amount of times I've directly just wanted to speak to someone, I've just put in the chat, speak to a human. It solves the problem for everybody. That then integrates into their team, and I'm speaking to somebody that can specifically solve my problem. But you want to think about how we can add and improve that human touch. So you want to think about those more complex examples, but emotional interactions. So I've mentioned a few times about almost customer complaints on chatbots and things like that. Make sure a human team member is ready to step in. But even some of your automation pieces, I feel that in the B2B space, there is such a powerful play at the moment for massive cold email lead generation stuff, which is great because if it lands at the right time, it works for that person. But actually then the follow-ups, the opportunity to communicate with that person that we feel we can offer them a good service, nothing's better than the next steps of getting them on a Zoom call, having a phone call, sending something good old-fashioned in the post. There's so many different steps to that. But I think the key thing to remember in that is balance is everything. Use AI to enhance the customer experience. Make sure human creativity and empathy remain at the core of your brand. We have to remember to use that AI responsibly. You're not just protecting your customers, you're building a brand that stands out for its ethics, transparency, and customer care. By using AI responsibly, you're not just protecting your customers, you're building a brand that stands out for its ethics, transparency, and customer care. So let's start thinking about the action plan and the next steps that you can start using to embrace AI and automation in your business. You want to think about, firstly, identify your biggest marketing bottleneck. What's taking up the most time or causing the most friction in your process? Whether it's lead qualification, content creation, campaign optimization, start by automating that one task. Then choose one AI tool to test. Look at the tools we discussed today, pick one that aligns with your needs, use the free trials, demos, sign up for just the 1 month. You usually get a good discount code. Test its functionality before committing. And spend your time training your AI agents. I can't preach this enough. Feed it the quality inputs, define the clear goals, and set logical rules. Remember, the better your instructions, the better your results. Test and iterate, plain and simple. Keep playing with it. Keep analyzing and reviewing the feedback. Don't set it and forget it. That is not the point of AI. It doesn't just magically happen and magically improve itself. We have to keep fueling it with what's going good, what's wrong, what do we need to improve. And make sure that you're being ethical and transparent with your customer base. Let them see what you're doing and how you're embracing it. And be clear about how you're using that AI. Protect your customers' data and always prioritize that trust. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's episode. Are you already using AI in your marketing? What's one tool or tactic you're excited to try after listening? So feel free to connect with me, Rob Curtis, on LinkedIn, and let's start a conversation. And if you haven't already, I'd love to ask a small favor. If you could subscribe to Marketing Unzipped so you never miss an episode, it's packed with actionable insights and strategies to level up your business. And most importantly, the next steps for the podcast is we're looking to bring guests. So the more subscribers, the more people that spend time for this, the more renowned the guests, will give us a great opportunity to bring more incredible brains discussing and sharing their ideas with me that can help your business go to the next level. And if you found today's episode valuable, share it with a friend or a colleague who's ready to embrace the power of AI. Until next time, I'm Rob Curtis, and this has been Marketing Unzipped. Let's use AI to create marketing that's smarter, faster, and more human for your customers and for you.